Scott Kauffman is next, going to talk to us about what Geeknet is. And Scott, we were chatting before, is at least a two-time company flip winner. Is it more than two? Might be three. He's a three-time winner. So I'm sure he has a lot to tell us that would be of interest to you as well. Scott?
Thank you. And now a word from your sponsor. I'm Scott Kauffman, President and CEO of Geeknet. And unlike a lot of companies that have the word net in their name, we are not an aggregator of third-party sites. We are the owners and operators of a collection of properties that cater to the global geek community. And I'm going to just quickly walk you through 5 of those that in aggregate attract 45 million monthly visitors to us each month. 3 of our top properties already have just celebrated their 10th birthdays, so we've been around a while. Starting on the left with SourceForge, which is the largest open source code repository in the world. More about that in just a moment. ThinkGeek, the wildly popular e-commerce site that caters to geeks everywhere. Those are the t-shirts that they're wearing, every form of caffeine delivery system known to mankind, all the gadgets and gizmos that they adorn their cubes with, you find every day on our site at ThinkGeek. Moving over to the right, we have Slashdot, the first social network for the IT community. Olo, a company that we bought last year out of Seattle for ex-Microsofties that figured out how to crawl the entire world of open source code and catalog it, and so we have near census-like data on everything that's going on in the open source world. We figured that would be a smart thing for us to have. So we're not only a fan, we bought the company. And then finally, FreshMeat, which is the largest web-based directory of Linux projects in the world, so that developers can find the projects they want to work on, and oftentimes they find them right on SourceForge. So it's one big happy community. We'll talk a little bit more about that. I've come to view our company as a true 21st century media company. And by that I mean that all of the content, if you will, on our properties are developed and built and created by the community and for the community. And let me give you an example in the case of SourceForge. On average, 200 people woke up this morning and decided they wanted to change the world by writing some new code. And they came to our site and they registered for free and they joined the 750,000 other developers that are already there, and they started playing in the sandbox that we created for them. We gave them a whole set of tools, again, all for free. So they have source code management, and they have bug tracking, and they can do version control and all the little things you need to build software. And they grab some things that other people are working on. I don't know if you know much about how open source is developed, but it's a highly collaborative and iterative process. So everything else that's been done before can be looked at, played with, toyed with, improved, added to. They pull things down, they play with them, maybe they hide them for a little while, maybe they serve them back up to the community. And then at some point when that little pet project becomes a product, we give them the tools to hang their shingle, let the world know that they exist, and then distribute that software, all for free. All for free. Same thing happens on Slashdot. So all of the articles that you see on Slashdot are written by the community and for the community. And then I think of ThinkGeek as our company store. You know, if Disney can have a company store, and Time Inc. and Time Warner can have a company store, so can we. And so it's where geeks go to get all of those aforementioned products. And then if you look at that community and think about who they are, these are very difficult to reach, highly intelligent, very affluent, desirable people that consume a lot of things. They just tend to do it at quirky hours and sort of out of the mainstream. But they are a very interesting group of people that some would argue are skeptical, yes, maybe even bordering on cynical, but they trust us. They trust us because we're not a traditional media company. We've put a platform in place that they build upon, that they express themselves through. And as a result of that, we don't violate that trust, and we enjoy a very fruitful relationship with them. So I'm going to talk a little bit about how we get to them, but first you need to take a look at what's going on all around us. And you don't need to look much further than the people in this room, or maybe the folks out in the corridor, or throughout all of ad tech. Certainly, geeks have permeated the advertising and marketing community like few others, but it goes way beyond that. It started as a B2B phenomenon, and now it's exploded into the popular culture. So if you look at what's happening in entertainment and fashion and advertising and education, certainly in advertising and marketing, the geek shall inherit the earth. And they're making their presence felt. You know, we live in an age where there are 400 million Facebook users, 150,000 iPhone applications. Hollywood beating a path to Comic-Con's door to pre-sell the summer blockbuster. It's all about geek chic. Geek is the new black. And we've spent the better part of 10 years fostering a relationship with this highly desirable group of people that are not just the early adopters anymore. These are the trendsetters, these are the tastemakers. Yes, it began with that core nucleus of the uber geek, the CTO, the CIO, the purchasing manager at a Fortune 500 company, but it quickly grew past that to the tech obsessed. And now, as the technology is ending up in everybody's pocket and in the Starbucks near you, to a broader mainstream audience that we enjoy this relationship with today. So, how do we get at them? We start with the notion of content being of high value created by the community. Now, remember those 200 people that woke up this morning, they joined those 750,000 other people. Meaning that's what's happening in the back of the store. In the front of the store, on average about 3 million times a day, some general consumer comes looking for a piece of that free software. So they'll Google in something that they're looking for, they'll get pointed right to us. Now think of the mindset. I'm looking for free software, I find it instantly, and now I am a happy camper waiting for my software to download. The only thing I've invested is 30 seconds of search, and now I've got a minute to a minute and a half of time on my hands. What are we going to do? Why don't we entertain that user? And this is our immersion product, where we take over the screen, a 500 by 700 unit, the thermometer indicating the progress of the download never leaves, so that it's completely within the user flow experience, and our customers are free to use any form of sight, sound, and motion to get their messaging across. The aperture is perfect because the mindset is somebody who's going to acquire something, they're a happy camper, and they're a captive audience, which is why we enjoy engagement rates at the rate of about 39% across this particular ad unit. This is our premium content. This download aperture right here is our premium content. And if you think about the impact that it can have on an end user who's found exactly what they're looking for and is a captive audience, it brings to light a whole new way of thinking about user-generated content. No longer a bad word. Same with those articles on Slashdot that are written by deeply passionate people that are immersed in and passionate about what they're writing about. Now, I'm told by law, if you present as a publisher at AdTech, you have to throw up the obligatory logo slide. So here it is. Now, you see the usual suspects, the Microsofts and the Adobes and the Intels of the world, but increasingly you're starting to see mainstream advertisers come in, the Best Buys and the Visas and the Swatch watches, as this geekification of the world, as we call it, continues to permeate the pop culture. All right, just one last commercial message for our e-commerce site, since you can all be customers this afternoon if you go to thinkgeek.com. And ThinkGeek is easy to find, www.thinkgeek.com. We average over one new product every single day. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and increasingly on YouTube. I think we announced just today the winners of our electronic rock guitar t-shirt contest. So we had a runaway bestseller at the end of last year, a t-shirt that literally plays an electric guitar. And we invited the community to submit their best videos, and we announced those awards today. You can see them all over YouTube. And this is just one example of tapping into the mindset of the global geek. So who are these consumers? Well, the quote from Pogo, we've met the consumer and it is us. So in addition to all of the people in this room and in the industry, if you look at our company, we've got 140 geeks that work at Geeknet, and they are very much the same affluent, educated, deeply passionate audience that has a wonderful appetite for everything that's new and interesting, quirky and a little offbeat. But we understand how to tap into their sense of humor as well. So there's nothing snarky about this audience. And if you read some of the copy that's on the website, there is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of a wink, and we fundamentally understand who these people are. And proof of that is here two of our most popular sellers. If you look at our sales from last holiday season, 6 of our 10 top-selling items were items that were created at ThinkGeek. We source from all over the world. We introduce more than one new product every day, but we also invent new products. And at the top there, the Tauntaun sleeping bag, which began life as an April Fool's Day joke, and then through popular demand, we actually had to go to George Lucas. This is out of the Star Wars series, and we had to go to him and ask for a license, and we got it, and we manufactured a sleeping bag built out of the Tauntaun. And then the aforementioned electronic rock guitar t-shirt. So 6 of the 10 top sellers were sourced, created, designed, manufactured, and exclusively distributed through thinking, because as this 21st century media company, we get geeks. And by that I mean we fundamentally get them, we understand what makes them tick, and then we deliver to them the code, the content, the community, the caffeine that they crave. And then we get them, we aggregate them on behalf of the advertising and marketing community, and then serve them up in this pristine environment, never taking advantage of them. You'll never see a cheesy iPad giveaway offer on our site or blinking emoticons. Our audience would shut down on us in a heartbeat, but we simply deliver this clean, pristine environment for all of you. Please join us. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the show.